November 24th, 1874, the patent clerk stared at my invention like I just handed him a medieval torture device. But no cap, this twisted piece of metal is about to completely transform the American West. While everyone's out here trying to figure out how to control millions of acres of open range, I just solved it with some wire and a coffee grinder. I'm about to make the cowboy lifestyle obsolete, and they're going to be pressed about it. My name is Joseph Glidden, and this is the AP US History My Story podcast. So here's the tea about the Great Plains in 1874. It's chaos. You've got cattle ranchers letting their herds run wild across thousands of acres of open range, farmers trying to protect their crops with these wooden fences that cattle just walk through, and everyone's beefing, pun intended, over whose land is whose. The whole Wild West vibe, it's because nobody can actually control anything out here. I'm just a hardware store owner in Illinois, and last year at the county fair, I saw this guy Henry Rose showing off his fence attachment with these sharp points. His design was amateur hour. The barbs just slid around the wire like they were doing the cha-cha, and I'm like, bet, what if we made it actually effective? This is where it gets galaxy brain, bestie. I went home and started messing with my wife's coffee grinder and figured out that if you twist two wires together with the barbs wrapped between them, they stay put. Total genius energy, right? By next year, I'll be producing 5 million pounds of this stuff annually. My new barb fence company, yeah, we kept it simple with the name, is about to go absolutely feral with production. We're talking about fencing material that costs 80% less than wooden fences and lasts way longer. I'm thinking that ranchers are about to hoe down, celebrate when they realize they can now control their herd. Here's what actually went down, though, and it's not a happy ending for everyone. My invention basically ended the open range era in like 5 years. Cowboys, their whole job just became obsolete because you don't need to herd cattle when they're fenced in. Native Americans who relied on buffalo migration, those fences cut right through traditional hunting grounds. They started calling my invention the devil's rope because animals would get tangled up and literally die. Range wars broke out when big ranchers started illegally fencing public lands. There were actual fence-cutting wars in Texas where people formed secret societies just to destroy barbed wire at night. This is all part of the Gilded Age industrialization that's transforming America. Innovations like mine are speeding up development but also crushing traditional ways of life. The new transcontinental railroad made it possible to ship my wire everywhere. Steel production made it cheap to manufacture, and the light bulb kept the factory open and working later. So my company took off, and I spent years in court defending my patent against hundreds of people who claim they invented barbed wire first. The legal fees were astronomical, but I won most of the cases because my design was actually superior. By 1880, I became one of the richest men in America from selling twisted metal with spikes on it. Wild. The thing about innovation is that you can't control how it's used once it's out there. I wanted to help farmers protect their crops, but I ended up transforming the entire American landscape, ending an era and creating a tool that's been used for both protection and oppression ever since. Like, follow, and share the AP US History My Story podcast, because these stories hit different when you hear the original voices that shaped our country.